Yo.
Don't you hate driving behind like big trucks?
Yes.
And stuff? Yes,
Mm-hmm.
they are so slow.
I know.
Races are freaking speed demons, bro. What are you talking about? I mean, NASCAR racers.
All right, so we are going to continue our talk on functions, but we're going to do one function in particular, which are linear functions. So if you look at the word linear, what word do you see there? Ear. Ear. Yes, nice, Peter. Ear. Near, yes. But line, yes. Line. Yeah. All right, so when we talk about lines, we always start with talking about the same thing. Starts with an S, ends with a...
Why?
No.
Sunny.
Starts with an S, ends with a lope. Slope. Sunny. Is that what you said?
Yeah. Oh, well.
It's a show. Are you talking about a show? Okay, here we go. So let's say that we have a XY plane, Cartesian plane, and then let's go ahead and draw just a random line on here. There you go. And your lines need to have arrows on the ends because it's not a ray and it's not a line segment, it's a line. And it goes on forever in each direction. All right, and then let's just pick 2 points on this line. I'm going to choose this point, and I'm going to call it x1, y1. It's a little subscript, okay? x1, y1. And then I'm going to pick another point, maybe down the road a little bit, this one. I'm going to call that point x2, y2. And when we talk about slope, we talk about the vertical change. So that would be like if I want to go from this point to that point, instead of moving along the diagonal, I need to move 2 directions. I need to move up, and I need to move to the right. So there are 2 changes here. There's a vertical change and a horizontal change, okay? And slope is equal to the vertical change over the horizontal change. Horizontal change. And you know this better as... Perfect. I knew someone knew it. Some of you knew it. There you go. Okay. Rise over run. And then the formula, if you are given 2 points, like these 2 points, these random points, x1, y1, and x2, y2, to find the slope, we already talked about this a minute ago, you're going to do the vertical change, which is y2 minus y1. If I want to see like how far of distance I go from here to here, I subtract, right? Like, for example, if it's 75 degrees, and later on it's going to be 85 degrees, what's the change in temperature? Hi, welcome. You made it. The change in temperature is 10 degrees. You subtract them, right? That's what we do here. Okay. But we have to subtract 2 things because there's 2 movements. There's a vertical movement, and then there's also how far am I going horizontally, and that would be x2 minus x1. So there you go. And we call slope m.
This is the best thing ever.
You like slope? It's the best thing ever? Nice. Okay, so let's do some.
Yay.
Number 1. I like your enthusiasm today on a Monday. What is the slope of the line that goes through the 2 points? So we're going to find the slope. Find the slope. And I have 3 of these for you. Oh, who went and got their calculator this weekend? Anybody? Oh, good, good. Okay, start using it. Start getting used to it. They take a little while. -3, 7, and -2, 4. -3, 7, and -2, 4. So we're going to find the slope of the line that contains those 2 points. And you know, to make a line, all you need is 2 points. If I give you 1 point like this, I can make an infinite amount of lines through that. I have this really cool wall in my den that I wanted to hang hockey sticks on. And there's 4 that go this way, and then 1 that goes that way. It's really cool. And they're on my wall. And I went to put them up with using this Velcro stuff. And then the last one we ran out of Velcro tape, so I ended up just putting 1 in the middle, thinking it would, and it went like this. It totally went like that. And then once I put another one on there, then I can make my straight line.
Oh.
I know. And I was like, oh, 2 points determine a line. Okay.
And
And then I feel like nerds. What's that?
Do you wake up every morning, look at it, and think,
Mm. No. It's pretty cool though. I'll show you a picture of it. It's really nice. All right. M is equal to. The top stick is Jeff Carter's stick.
So
He plays for the Kings. Yeah. I have his
bobble.
bobblehead. That's him up there, Jeff Carter.
The other way?
He's my boyfriend.
Is what you're saying?
Okay, here we go.
So one's facing one way and all of them.
Yeah. There's 4 of them going like this. They're left-handed sticks. And then there's a right-handed stick at the top going the other way. Yeah, it looks cool. They're all made by different companies too. CMC and Warrior. Okay, here we go. So we're going to take the y's. So I like to start over here with the second y. We're going to go 4 minus 7 over -2 minus -3. Now you have to be pretty good at subtraction. Are you good at subtraction?
Or you can keep change that, baby.
I mean, you could use a calculator if you wanted to, but that's embarrassing. All right, 4 minus 7 is -3. -2 minus a -3 is +1. So the slope is -3. Okay, slope is -3. Let's try another one, yeah? B. Given 2 points. Here we go. 3, 1 and -4, 1. All right, so let's go ahead and subtract the y's over the x's. So we're going to do 1 minus 1 over -4 minus 3. And we get 0 over -7, and that's okay. You're allowed to have 0 in the numerator of a fraction. That's just equal to 0. So the slope is 0. 0, it's like a flat line. And then the last one of these, and then we'll move on. Let's say you have 2 points, and we'll say there's 7, -3, and 7, +1. Okay, first of all, is that a function? No, remember? 7 is mapping to -3, and 7 is mapping to 1. So right away, something's wrong. You're like, oh no. 7 is sneaky, right. So when you do this and you go 1 minus -3 over 7 minus 7, oops, what is that? You get 4 over 0. Okay. You're not allowed to have 0 in the denominator at any time. It's like if your friends order a pizza and you decide to take 4 slices out of a pizza that's not there, right? Fractions. Like, I want 1 piece out of the 8 that you order, that's fine. I could even have 0 pieces of pizza out of the 8 that you ordered. But I cannot have 4 pieces of pizza out of a pizza that doesn't exist, okay? So we call this one of 2 things. You could either say no slope, or you could say the slope is undefined. Undefined. And which lines, we talked about this last week, which lines are not functions? There's only one type of line that's not a function. Vertical lines. And that's actually a vertical line right there. All right, so there are 4 different types of slope that you can have. And let's go ahead and graph them all. 1, ew, hold on.
There's this kid trying to be sneaky.
Who?
This goat.
Yeah?
Whatever it was, and
He owns a goat.
he got murked by his
Murked. This is a really fun conversation. I have no idea what you're saying.
If I show you the video on page 30.
Okay, I'd love to see that. I'll show it to my kids. Is it PG?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, they'll love it. Some goat, a murked or something. I don't know. Okay, here we go. So let's go ahead and I'm going to show you the 4 different types of lines that you can have according to slopes. You can have a slope that is positive, in the positive direction. Okay? You can also have a slope that is negative. That would be a negative slope. You always read graphs going left to right, just like you read words on a page. So this one right here, like if I was standing at the end of this line and I'm walking uphill. This one, you're walking downhill as you go from left to right. And then we did lines that have slope 0. Okay, that's 0. And the cool thing about that one is you can actually write the word 0 with the line that you just graphed. So 0. Oh, wow. See that? I know, isn't that cute?
Swaggy.
And then the last one is the one that we just did. And those are lines that are vertical. And it's undefined, and I can actually write the word no slope.
Ooh.
I know, isn't that cute? Like my dad taught me that. No slope. Okay, so those are the 4 different slopes you can have: positive, negative, 0, or no. Don't get 0 and no mixed up. Okay, 0 is a number, no is nothing. No. Nothing. All right, so let's move on to part B now. How many parts do you ask? This is it. Last part. You're going to have some time for homework. What happened here? B. You might even finish. This stuff is a repeat from Algebra 1. Do you feel like it? Yeah? A little bit? Okay. We're going to talk about 3 different equations of lines. We have 3 different types of equations of lines. We're going to do the first one today. And this is probably your favorite. And it's called Slope-Intercept. Slope-Intercept. And it's the one everyone remembers. Not everyone, but if I were to ask you, do you know the equation of a line, you would tell me this one. Probably out of all 3 of them. If you knew it. If you don't, that's okay. It's been a while. Geometry came in and clouded up your brain, and now you're back to algebra. Okay. Right? For realsies. Okay, slope. Here we go. Let's say that you have a line. Let's draw a line through here. I'll just go ahead and draw this line this time. There it is. And for this line, the line intersects, okay, like an intersection where you have a street and another street and they come together. Okay, this line intersects this line here and that line there. Okay. One of them is a little more important than the other, actually. This one right here, that is called the Y-intercept. That's the important one. The Y-intercept is where the graph of the line intersects the y-axis, right? This is the y-axis. This is the x-axis. And that's called the y-intercept. And anytime you have a y-intercept of any graph, no matter what it is, maybe we're going to graph absolute value, maybe we're going to graph some polynomials that do wavy things, maybe we even graph sine and cosine. No matter what graph it is, the y-intercept always happens when x equals what special number?
0.
0. X is 0. Okay? So the y-intercept will always have a point, if there is a y-intercept on a graph, of 0, comma, b. We call it b. 0, b. All right, the other one is this one right here. This is the X-intercept. The X-intercept. And that one is when y equals 0. So the y is 0. X is something, 2, 3, negative 5, 10, but y is 0. You're not going up or down. You're staying on the axis. And then we label those points as a, comma, 0. Not as important. All right, so we can come up with an equation of a line. And the equation of the line in slope-intercept form looks like this. Equation of a line. If m is the slope, and we can find m by taking 2 points or whatever, or maybe it's given to us, and b is the y-intercept, then we can write the equation of our line like this. Y equals mx plus b. Y equals mx plus b. I'm sure you've heard that before, or maybe. There it is. Y equals mx plus b. That's the equation of a line in slope-intercept form. That's the first of our 3 forms that we're going to learn. All right, so let's do some things with it. Here we go. Number 2. Let's do some easy ones, okay? We'll do some easy ones, and then we'll do a little bit harder.
Easy peasy lemon.
Yeah. So write the equation of the line. So all lines have their own equation. And they can give you some information, and you can come up with the equation of that line. And the information changes. They could give you 2 points. They could give you a slope and intercept. They could give you a slope and 1 point. There's a lot of different things. They could give you the graph, and then you have to come up with the equation of the line. Okay? Lots of options. Here we go. So let's say that the slope is 3, and that the y-intercept, and they were super nice on this one. This is going to be the easiest of them all, is 0, negative 1. Write the equation of the line. They give you everything you need, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to do y equals mx x plus b. All we have to do is fill in the m and fill in the b. So, what's m? M is 3. And what's b? They tell us the y-intercept is -1. When x is 0, that's our y-intercept. And they even told us the y-intercept. So we go ahead and we plug it in. Y equals 3x minus 1. And that's your answer. It is cute. Okay? All right, you try one. What?
Do you know what mate is?
Mate? It sounds delicious. What is it? Is it a bad word? Did I just say a bad word on my video?
It's a Brazilian tea.
Wow, that's a good laugh.
I know,
Your brother what?
He did? No way. I wish I would have been there. He brought it today. Really?
You're all over the place today, but I like your enthusiasm on a Monday morning. It's pretty good. I'm not quite as enthusiastic. All right, here we go. You try this one. Shh, 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 shh. Same exact problem, different numbers. I've given you the slope, and I've given you the y-intercept, and now you're going to write the equation of the line. Don't worry, they get harder from here. I'm not trying to insult your intelligence. You just keep it easy, yeah? Yeah, they don't get difficult really till tomorrow a little bit. But we're going to spend part of the block reviewing too. So, okay, so what did you get? Y equals -1/5 x plus 3. Perfect. Done. Okay, try this one. Let's see if you can get this one. I'm not going to teach you how to do this one. I want you to try it on your own. No, you'll be all right. Let's say that we have a graph of a line, and let's say that it looks like this. Okay, maybe I should teach this one to you. I don't know. No? You have to find two pieces of information. You need the slope and you need the y-intercept. Okay? So we need m and we need b. M and b, and then we're going to plug them into our equation. So let's find b first. B is easier. You can look at this graph and tell me what b is. B is the y that your line goes through. What y does your line go through here? -2. Perfect. You can write it as a point, 0, -2, but the y-intercept is -2. That's this point right here. That's the b. Okay? All right, now slope. Slope is the vertical change over the horizontal change. And you guys know it better as rise over run. So go to any point that you see. I'm going to go to this point right here, and I'm going to count rise over run. And so I'm trying to get to this point right here, because those are the only 2 points that I see. So I'm going to go down 2, and then run +1. Do you see that? Rise over run. Down 2, run +1. So my slope is also -2. Ooh, they happen to be about the same thing. Okay, now we're ready to write the equation. Y equals -2x minus 2. And that's the equation of this line. Did anyone have that a while ago, like 4 minutes ago? Yeah, I thought so.
It's a cool equation.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Okay, and then the last problem is this one, number 3. I'm going to give you something in a weird form, and you need to get this. You need to write in slope-intercept form. Okay, and you did this, this type of thing. We got you ready for this in chapter 1 by having you solve for a variable. We're going to write in slope-intercept form, and then we're going to find out what the slope is and what the y-intercept is when we have it written in that form. Okay, so I have 2 of these, and then we'll be done. Yay! So 5x minus 4y is equal to 16. Now, that is not slope-intercept. Like if I say, hey, what's the slope of that line? You look at that and go, that's just a bunch of numbers all jumbled up with variables. Okay? So we need to get this into slope-intercept form. Now, slope-intercept form is y equals all the stuff. So we have to solve for y. And you've done this, right? You did this last chapter when I asked you to solve for x or solve for, remember, here's the area of a triangle, solve for the base. That's what we're getting you ready for, this. So let's solve for y. So what's our first step in solving for y? We're not going to divide first. Nope. We're going to subtract 5x to the other side.
Yeah, take that away and get over there.
Yes. Okay. So on this side, we're left with negative 4y. And on this side, I'm going to write the negative 5x and then plus 16. Okay? Now I'm solving for y, so I need to get rid of that negative 4. So I'm going to divide everybody by negative 4. All the pieces. So those will reduce, leaving me with just y. And then over here I get negative 5 over negative 4, which would be positive 5/4 x. And then 16 divided by negative 4 is negative 4. And so that's the form I want it in. And then I might ask you, bless you, what is the slope? You would tell me it is 5 over 4, rise over run, perfect. And then what is the y-intercept? Negative 4. Great.
You want the little nasty numbers.
Yeah, you guys are good. Okay, let's do one more.
Yay.
Ah, that's gross. All right. B. Negative 3/4 x, ew, fractions, plus 1/2 y
Whoa.
equals negative 1. Bad, bad, all bad. All bad. It'll be all right. We'll be okay. All right, so we're going to solve for y again. And it's the same steps every time. You got to get the x over, and then you got to get rid of whatever's in front of the y. So let's go ahead and add 3/4 x to the other side. Add 3/4 x. Add 3/4 x. All right, so you get 1/2 y is equal to, yes, good, you put it in front, perfect, 3/4 x minus 1.
Why? Oh.
Okay, so how am I going to get rid of the 1/2? What's the best way? There's two ways. One's good, one's eh. Multiply. I'd rather multiply than divide by fractions. No one likes to divide by fractions. Let's multiply everything through by what? 2. Everybody gets multiplied by 2. Both sides of the equation multiplied by 2. So 2 times 1/2, those will reduce to 1, leaving us with y. And then you have to distribute that 2 to both. So 3/4 x times 2. What's 3/4 times 2? 3 over 2x, good. And leave it as an improper fraction like that. Don't change that to 1/2, okay? You want rise over run. You want 3 over 2. And then minus 2. And that's it.